Hello, my name is Anna Serbinenko, also known as Sky Dancer. I am an air show performer. I'm the chief flight instructor of Canadian Flight Center, a flight school in British Columbia. I'm also a pilot examiner and I run several businesses. I first heard about MAF when my partner Peter Schlick mentioned that as a young German pilot, his desire was to become an MAF pilot. So this is the first time I've heard about this wonderful organization. In many places, you can't just drive to a grocery store or go to the nearest walking clinic. We in Canada are so privileged. Even the poorest person in Canada has so much more than many people in a remote location in Africa, and even having basic things like clear, pure running water, drinking water, or having access to basic medical supplies. It's something that is taken for granted here, but it's not always the case everywhere else. The nearest doctor could be multiple miles away, and there are no roads and no buses, and the only way to reach those remote areas or disaster affected areas would be through aviation. MAF put in these resources for the benefit, for meeting the most basic benefits of the less privileged in this world, at the same time spreading the word, the gospel, and bringing people to know Christ. It's a win-win on all sides, and providing people not only the support for their immediate earthly needs, but the hope and knowing that there is something bigger than the struggles they are facing right now. And MAF is doing both. It just felt like was such a right thing to do, and at that moment we decided to support MAF in various ways, and we have done so over the years now. We have supported a missionary by regular donations. Later on we grew into having financial support from our companies, and we have been doing so for extended period of time right now. We had also the opportunity to train some of the MAF pilots for their multi-engine and IFR within our flight school. So we are always looking for the opportunities to support, to provide, and in any way we can. For local Canadian businesses, even a small donation that would go a long way for MAF is probably not a huge business killing sacrifice for our everyday life. And I believe that every business can find something that they can help with. The more we give, the more we get. This is one thing in the Bible where God is almost telling us, test me, keep giving. And us being in such a privileged situation in this country, I believe that we are in a position to give, and it becomes not only the financial exercise, it's something that brings your team on the same page, where your goal is not only the bottom line of the business and your financial report, but it is also report of how many people's lives you might have saved, how many kids you have helped to heal or educate. It's so much more that your team can be also on the mission with you. If nothing else, it just feels good that your business has a goal beyond just the bottom line or the checking account balance. Our company is Canadian Flight Center. It's a flight training unit, flight school in Vancouver, BC and Kamloops, BC. We also do some charter work with Canadian Flight Center, and we have the aircraft maintenance company Mission Aviation. Canadian Flight Center was started in 1979 by a high school teacher on Harcus, still in Vancouver International Airport. So the company is over 40 years old right now. My partner and I took over the company in 2009 when Ron was retiring. We have been managing the company ever since. If I had to summarize the lessons we have learned from the business and the experience of managing an aviation business over the years, is that the only thing that is constant is the change. It is never the same. It is always adaptation. And for instance, when we took over the company around 2009, 2010, it was fairly slow economic situation in the aviation business, and there was very little interest from high school graduates to becoming a pilot, and it was not a glamorous job anymore. Most people go through a tube inside the airplane, and the only way to find out when we are flying on an airliner which type of the plane it is only by looking at the safety card. So kids don't get exposed to aviation all that much, and they don't see becoming a pilot as one of the career choices, or aviation for that matter. It can be mechanics, traffic controllers. So we tried to change that, and we visited many high schools and talked to career counselors, attended career fairs, and over time aviation as an industry in general also picked up. So the next few years were good in the sense of more interest, more pilot jobs. Many of our fresh graduates were getting good offers right from the very beginning, which was not the case a few years before that. And managing the growth of the company is almost as challenging as managing the slow times, because you need to anticipate. If you are reacting to what is happening right now and adapting to what has already happened, you are behind. So you need to anticipate what is coming ahead, how you will do your next 10 steps. And that has been the biggest challenge and the biggest fun too. COVID has obviously affected all the companies, and that was quite a bit of adaptation for us as well. When the COVID hit, it was very tempting to stop our regular donations that we had set up for several years, and to say, okay, let's save the expense, and that would have saved multiple $1,000s to the company. But we made a decision at that time that we will keep giving the way we were giving before COVID for as long as we can. And miraculously enough, we were able to keep up with all the donations, and we were carried through these times without affecting our support for the MAF. So even in difficult times, I believe that we can still be kind and be generous even with whatever we have. We are looking forward to the recovery stage, and also implementing the new technologies, new certified electric aircraft to be used in flight training, and we are working closely with Transport Canada on that, and just looking for ways to be ahead of the curve with a few more ideas and projects, and business can be so much fun. If I could give one advice or one reminder to business owner, is change is mandatory, growth is optional, and it's entirely up to you to have the vision to take your business to the next level and take your team to the next level. And I believe with the right mindset and lots of work put into it, and the desire to do so, every business owner should be able to achieve those goals. You will have hiccups on the way, that is unavoidable, but the results definitely outweigh any challenges that you may encounter on the way. Just do not give up.